In film, we draw our attention to the visual aesthetic to bring us into the content and story of a film. However, an equally impactful element of cinema that breathes life into a production is sound. Much like the visual component of films, sound can be very expressive and profoundly impact the stylistic elements of a film. What we hear in a movie is often technologically more complicated to produce than what we see. In fact, because of the constant advances in digital technology, sound may be the most intensively creative part of contemporary movie making. This implies that sound, along with dialogue and visual aesthetic, can also contribute greatly to telling the story of a film and building a greater artistic whole. Sound serves many different functions in cinema, including communication through dialogue, creating rhythm, and establishing the dimensions of space and time. Sound production for a film consists of four phases. The first phase is sound design, which is creating the sound for a film. Sound technicians record, edit, and mix the sound components into the soundtrack. As motion picture sound has evolved, the role and technology of the sound designer has also changed and gained more recognition. The second phase is sound recording. The process of sound recording is conducted by the production sound mixer. The recording team uses double system recording to record sounds separate from the visual film in order to obtain the best sound quality and to manipulate the sound for post-production editing. The third stage of sound production is editing. Much like with visual film, the editor spends the most time with the director, producer, music composer, and screenwriters to concentrate on various dialogue dynamics, music choices, and sound effects. The last phase of sound production is mixing. Mixing is the process of combining the different soundtracks into one composite soundtrack that is synchronous with the picture. One of the most intriguing aspects of sound in film is Foley art. Named after Jack Foley, a sound effects artist for radio broadcast, Foley creates realistic sounds with auxiliary tools instead of sounds from built-in programs. It was heavily influenced by vaudeville shows. Foley artists record the sounds of characters, clothes, and other objects. This art is very cleverly depicted in the 1980 film Raging Bull. The sound of the boxers punching each other is actually just a Foley artist punching beef. The visceral sensory onslaught of the boxers' boxing scenes has a complex soundtrack. At base, the punching sounds themselves were achieved with sides of beef, but layered with that are manipulated slabs of music, roaring animals, engine noises, and flashbulbs. Effects such as footsteps are all recorded in a sound studio, and Foley artists simply have to wear certain shoes and walk on specific surfaces in order to achieve an exact sound for that scene. Sound in film, much like visual effects and dialogue, is one of the most integral elements of the artistic success of a film. It demands a very detail-oriented team of skilled technicians, artists, and creative minds in order to fit the correct style of sound in specific areas. A mismatch of sound can easily distract the viewer from the picture and lead to artistic failure. Because of this, it is very important that the sound production team works in harmony with the director, producer, and all creative minds in order to further advance the artistic world of cinema.